Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Liam and this is Grammar Simple, the channel that makes English grammar simple. Okay, today we have the first part of a three-part series about voices in English. The active voice, the passive voice, and the middle voice. This lesson will focus on the active voice. So, if you want to learn English grammar, stay tuned. Okay, voices in English, part 1, the active voice. Let's begin. In English, the active voice is used when the subject is the doer of the action. This means the subject does the action. Dogs bark. Subject, verb. Subject, action. Cats meow. A zombie ate my brain. I hope not. Zombie, subject, ate. Action. Batman always catches the Joker. It's true. The subject in active voice does the action. Easy, right? Okay, thanks so much for watching. That's the end of the video. Have a good night. Well, the good news is the active voice really is that simple. The subject does the action. The bad news is there are many more details to talk about, to explore. For example, what about this short story? Let's read it together. I had my car washed yesterday. It hadn't been washed since 2020. The sign outside said, "Roll up your windows." I didn't listen. While the man was washing my car, water was going everywhere inside the car. I cried. The other customers laughed at me. It was a terrible experience. Not so easy, right? But don't worry, I am here to help. So, let's get into it. If we want to learn about voices in English, we first have to talk about a few things. Number 1, verbs. In English grammar, verbs are words that describe two things, actions or states. For example, Liam teaches English on YouTube to students all over the world. Liam, that's me, hi, teaches. This is an action. His audience, that's you, hi, his audience is super cool. Yes, you are. They seem to understand his YouTube lessons. 3 verbs: is, seem, understand. These are states. They are not actions. In English grammar, a voice is the form of the verb, indicating the relation between the participants in a narrated event. Okay, lots of words here. We have voice, verb, relation, participants, narrated event. What do these mean? Don't worry. Like I said, I'm here. We will learn about it. So, form of the verb. Participants. Narrated event. Let's talk about verb forms, or form of the verb. There are 5 verb forms in English. The base form, or root form, the present simple form, or the third person singular form, the present continuous form, or gerund form, the simple past, or past simple, and the past continuous form. All verb forms can be used in the active voice. That's why I showed you the example of my car wash story. It has many different verb forms to tell a story. However, when it comes to English voices, it is the relationship between the verbs and the participants that is important. Search my YouTube channel for videos about specific verb forms. I have many videos about the verb forms in English: present simple, present continuous, gerunds, past continuous, past simple, etc. Okay, participants. What are participants? Subjects and objects. The participants in a narrated event are subjects and objects. For example, Liam teaches students English on YouTube. Subject, object. Who does Liam teach? Students. Who is taught English? Students. Who teaches? Liam. The participants in a narrated event provide context and meaning. Who does the action? Who is the action done to? In other words, who receives the action? Who does the action? Who receives the action? Narrated event. A narrated event is telling someone something happens, happened, has happened, had happened, is happening, was happening. All of the different verbs we use to talk about time. A narrated event is the story of the event and all of the details in the story. The verbs we use, the verb's form, and the participants, subject, object, all help us tell someone what happened. A complete story, in other words, a narrated event. In English, there are three voices: active, passive, and middle. In English grammar, the active voice is the most common. This video will focus on the active voice. In English, the active voice is used when the subject is the doer of the action. So, I said this at the beginning of the video today. This is now specifically about the active voice. Active voice, the subject is the doer of the action. Again, this means the subject does the action. And this is the relationship between the participant, the subject, and the verb. The relationship is the subject does the action. The subject is not the receiver of the action. Dogs bark. Cats meow. A zombie ate my brain. Cats always land on their feet. He often drinks green tea. My friend is studying biology at university. I played ice hockey growing up. It's true. She was waiting for me in the cafe. Their family has been to Australia. My mother had never seen an orchestra before last night. So, many examples, many different verb forms, and grammar tenses. But in all of the examples, the subject is the doer of the action. It doesn't matter the tense, present, past, it's all active voice. In these examples, the subject is always the doer of the action. I keep saying this because it is the number one most important idea or rule with the active voice. It's the only rule. The subject is the doer of the action. You can use different verbs with the active voice, different types of verbs, transitive verbs or intransitive verbs. Transitive verbs take an object. I speak English. The verb is speak. English is the object. What do I speak? English. She shut the window. What did she shut? Shut needs an object. Shut what? Shut the window. She shut the window, closed the door, and locked the room. 3 objects, 3 verbs. She hit him. What did she hit? Or who did she hit? Him. He often drinks what? Green tea. A zombie ate what? My brain. This is the relationship between the participants, subject, object, and the verb. The subject does the action, the object receives the action. Intransitive verbs do not take an object. The baby cried. No object. She sneezed. No object. Everybody laughed at the same time. No object. The plane arrived at 6 p.m. No object. My students seem to enjoy my lessons. No object. Note, sentences with intransitive verbs are always in the active voice. So that's a really good rule. Intransitive verbs, active voice. Similarly, imperative sentences are always in active voice. In imperative sentences, the subject is always implied. The subject is usually you, the person to whom I am speaking, the person I am speaking to. Watch this video until the end. Please be quiet in the library. Turn off the light and go to bed. Ask me a question if you don't understand the lesson. In addition, sentences that have causative forms use the active voice. What are causative forms? Causative forms use have plus object plus past participle, or got plus object plus past participle. We use causative forms to show that we had something done for us, or we got something done for us. Usually, this means you pay someone to do something for you. You don't do it yourself. You pay someone to do it. For example, I had my house professionally cleaned. What does this mean? This means I paid a professional cleaner to clean my house. In this case, it is still active voice because I did the action. I paid someone to do something. I got my hair cut yesterday. This means I paid to get my hair cut from a hairdresser. Okay, let's review a checklist for the active voice. Sentences using intransitive verbs are in the active voice. Sentences using transitive verbs and a direct object are in active voice. Sentences with no subjects imperative, they are in active voice. I just want to say something about imperative. I have a 3-part video series about the moods in English. One of the moods is the imperative mood. So if you want to learn more about the moods in English, watch that playlist here. Okay, back to the checklist. Sentences in causative forms are in active voice. Have a look at the short story again. This is the short story we read at the beginning of the lesson. Can you identify all of the examples of active voice in the story? Use the checklist to help you. Again, this is the checklist for active voice. You can pause the video or take a screenshot and use it to help you. And pause the video, go back if you need to, look at the examples again. Try to find all of the active voice and the reason why it is active voice. Okay. I had my car washed yesterday. It hadn't been washed since 2020. The sign outside said, "Roll up your windows." I didn't listen. While the man was washing my car, water was going everywhere inside the car. I cried. The other customers laughed at me. It was a terrible experience. It's a sad story, but still better than a zombie attack, right? I think so. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel for more free English content, share this video with a friend. My name is Liam, and this is Grammar Simple, the channel that makes English grammar simple. Let me know your comments and questions down in the comment section. I love reading your comments and questions. I will see you next time. Okay. Bye.